Welcome to Stardust.
There's Majid. We should leave this data cache with him first, like Tomcat asked.
Yeah, everybody loves snow. It's not going to be an issue.
All right! Tomcat asked me to take that off your hands and pass it on to them later. Thanks for getting it to me. I won't pester you about what it is.
It's definitely not porn, so don't go looking.
I know things are always very hush-hush with Tomcat. I'll make sure they get it later today.
Excellent. Thank you.
Oh no, it's still here. What are we doing?
Welcome to Stardust.
Thank you.
You again? All right, I'll let you in. But you better stay out of trouble.
This is exactly what I needed to get my mind off things.
Hey, I heard from my friends down the street that the protesters are gone.
Yeah,
Must have been you, huh?
must have.
Alright then. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and return the favor. Tomcat said that if you got to an old abandoned access node, you might be able to find out what happened to Hayden.
Boom.
I called up a buddy who's on night shift for Parallax tonight. He can buzz you in, but if anything happens, you broke in. This puts us at about even. Don't think about drawing any more debits for a while. Good luck. Keep me out of your shit.
I'm ashamed to say I've gone on a few assy spike benders in my time.
To the access node. Away!
This is the place Tomcat said we should head to. Unassuming and quiet. I'll be honest, I don't think I would be in this section of the city without Jess giving us the all clear. The crime statistics are quite alarming, so let us get done with our errand here and move on to safer ground. I can't help it. Stealing a ROM is considered petty theft, and I'd really rather not be taken by some miscreants out to pawn me for a minor amount of credits. Our hypothetical kidnapper wouldn't even be punished worse than a slap on the wrist if it were a first offense. Though, I suppose I shouldn't get too worked up about the legal system not accounting for machine sapience. I am the first. That I know of, anyway.
That's not good.
You know, right after we found Hayden's apartment in such disarray, I started looking into graffiti and street art more thoroughly. I have never much considered doing any of it myself, but it seems like an interesting avenue to pursue once I move beyond abstract expressionism. The simpler tags, visual shoutings of identity and existence. They exhibit a feeling I can sympathize with, but it's these larger pieces, riots of color and chaos, that really interest me. Petty vandalism is beneath me, but there are other avenues for the practice. For example, did you know that Los Angeles in the mid-2030s legalized the tagging of mural-style street art on any building without requiring permission from the owner or city?
That's bizarre.
It was chaos of the highest degree for a while, but now the place is truly remarkable. Perhaps I will visit once this is all done with. Ah, I hadn't even noticed. Do you have much experience with gonzo journalism yourself, reporting after or during direct participation? If you do end up writing on this experience, whatever you produce would be the very definition of it. You're too close to be objective now, and you're a key subject in this event. It doesn't seem to be your usual style, but you couldn't go another route at this point, and you're in the clear as you didn't instigate the situation. I've never had much interest in the practice, but spending so much time around you has taught me to look at events in a different light. Perhaps only because I can verify your personal experiences as fact. Sorry, I'm rambling again, aren't I? And we're on a schedule. I don't even want to think about this. What if we don't find Hayden? What if we do? My memory processors are shot from the stress of the past day. It's already taken a toll on me. But never mind. Let's find that access node. Let's find Hayden.
Parallax Walk, AN-19 security.
Hello?
Hi, this is Clam Hands. I'm here to inspect your access node.
Yes, can I help you? Kids!
I think we have a use for our spoiled milk. Put it in the generator. Damn it!
This is the door to an apartment building. It's not the access node. Don't! The access node is next door to this building. That's the wrong place. Don't wake the Nabots! Did I say Nabots? I meant neighbors. Sorry, I'm really tired. Besides, this is the wrong door.
What do you mean tired? You are a robot.
This is the door to the access node that Tomcat told us about. We need to use the buzzer to get inside.
Parallax Walk, AN-19 security. This late at night? Uh-huh. Kids!
The guard isn't actually here. You need to press the buzzer on the door to get access.
Parallax Walk, AN-19 security. Hike! Hey, I'm pretty sure this is a prank, but how about those Niners?
Go Pack!
Nobody! Yeah, buddy! Hey, have a good one. Parallax Walk, AN-19 security. I was wondering when you'd get there. You're at the access node on Cesar Chavez in Indiana, right?
That's right.
Good. Be quick. Don't touch anything. Got it? This conversation never happened, and you're on your own if you get caught out there.
So I'm told.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
This is it. Let's go inside, and I'll call Tomcat. This place doesn't look like it's had any maintenance in years. I hope the systems are still functional. Oh, I forgot you can't see in darkness. Maybe that switch over there adjusts the lighting.
Wow.
Oh, Tomcat is pinging us, forwarding video and audio.
Howdy! Y'all at the access node?
You bet we are.
I'm set to slice in once Turn makes physical access.
Of course, Tomcat. Just walk me through how to connect myself, and I'll give you the necessary system permissions to use me as an interface.
Just patch yourself into the links terminal down there, and I should be able to get started.
Connecting wirelessly to it now. Permissions granted. Please be careful in there.
Don't worry, though. I'm an old hand at this. You won't notice a thing. One sec. Oh, shoot. Y'all have a bit more to do before I can get the info we need. This system's still running on old cassettes, and the recall slot is empty. Can't call up Hayden's info file without it. There should be a cassette on the opposite side of the wall we can overwrite with the recall program. Pretty sure all that one was used for was phone monitoring. You know, from back when phone networks were separate from data networks. I swear, y'all, I just turned 22. Anyways, we need to move that cassette across the room to access the records. Figure out how to do that, and hit me back up when you've done it.
Loose wires, be careful! According to this poster, the data cassettes can only be moved by using the links panel to control the utility arm.
Nice job! I'm gonna put some more pressure on them to move the data now, and we'll see if we can't slurp it right out of this network trunk. You would have thought that someone would have noticed and decommissioned this access node when the neighborhood went to hell, but this mouse is happy to play while the cat is away. Way back when I was a youngin', when I first hacked into Parallax's network, I mostly did it to make a point, yeah? They were just about to launch the meshnet system, and I wanted to show the whole darned world that their security had more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Of course, I wasn't too shy about poking in a few more holes of my own devising while I was there. After putting in some more tricky software backdoors, I went ahead and deleted this access node off the maintenance schedule. Then, I reassigned the guy who was supposed to keep an eye on it to a different location. They were in the process of buying up a whole gaggle of these nodes in preparation to set up a private network for themselves. All just to use for the meshnet launch. Maybe a little too confident of them. Most of the software holes have been patched out as they've upgraded their network, but this old place is just as forgotten as I left it. I've been targeting one of their data centers with a botnet-driven DDoS attack, hitting every port into its network that I can find. Ain't likely to do much, but toss in a few attempts to crack the firewall and their VIs are shitting bricks. It's standard procedure for them to move their sensitive data to a different data center in case the attacker actually gets in. Make enough noise and it'll scare them enough into taking some defensive action, which is where we want them. The files are more vulnerable in transit. Now you'll just hold tight. I'll be done with this lickety-split. Surveillance camera footage. Oh, God. Oh, Turin. I'm so sorry.
What is it, Tomcat? What did you find?
He's gone, Turin.
Of course he's gone, Tomcat. That's why we're here.
Oh no, we have to explain death to a robot.
Shit. I mean, he's gone, Turin. Hayden is dead.
Well, that obviously isn't right, Tomcat. Why would they kill him? Can you send me the relevant files? You must have missed something.
I don't think you should see it, but if you're sure. Parallax had security cam footage from the hallway outside Hayden's apartment encrypted on their network. Just a short clip. It looks like Hayden started to struggle with a couple of big dudes when they broke through the door and one of them shot him. I also found some chatter about it on some darknet channels. It wasn't a kidnapping. Somebody went there to murder him. I'm so damn sorry.
Thank you for your assistance in this matter, Tomcat. I think I'll walk back to the apartment. I need some time to run some calculations about this new scenario. If you'll excuse me.
Should you to follow them? If you say so. I'm gonna keep digging through this data until they kick me out of the system. I'll try to find some kind of lead on why this whole thing started in the first place. Maybe I can find something out about who killed Hayden and why Parallax has a copy of the footage. It ain't much of a silver lining, but we have the answer on Hayden's fate. Maybe it's time to call it quits. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back, 'cause I live here. How you doing?
You know, Hayden was a brilliant programmer, far ahead of his time. I am a machine, and intrinsically, I do not have all the glands and visceral chemical reactions that make humans so emotional and brilliant. But his code is a flawless replication of that, inside my own personality algorithms. I don't think I've ever felt this anger. It fouls my processors and fills my RAM with frustrating, half-finished plans of revenge.
That's what my RAM's filled with, too.
My motherboard burns in my casing from how little I can rest. I'm in pain, and I can't make it go away. Ugh. I do not like the thoughts I'm having about the people who did this to him. I can disable those modules. But if I turn off every emotion I don't want to feel, what does that make me? Would I still be me? If I were human, turning off my emotions would be seen as extremely unhealthy. There is a wealth of information on the meshnet about human psychology. I just don't know how much of it applies to myself. Either way, Hayden deserves my grief. It is my way of honoring him. It may be the only way I can. I offer it freely. Did you see the jade plant? It's doing well, despite the hardships it has gone through. There is a lesson there. I don't know that I can listen to it right now, but I'll try. Will you keep helping me? I need you. To find the bastards who killed my progenitor.
Wow.
I need to finish this. I don't know what I'll do afterwards, but I need to see this through. Justice. Yes, good. I knew you'd keep me from losing myself in this.
Revenge! The clam hands cometh for you.
Let's make sure they have the appropriate time to atone for their crimes in prison. Even if it takes the rest of their lives. I think for now we should keep knowledge of Hayden's death between you, Tomcat, and I. It may give us an edge if the people we seek don't know how much we've already discovered. We'll talk after you've had some time to rest. You likely need sleep, and I need some time to... I need some time. Good morning. I trust you slept well.
Good morning.
I had ample time to recharge my internal batteries. It is upsetting that Hayden is... gone. But life for the rest of us goes on, yes? We still have a mystery to unravel, and I will waste no further processing time over something I cannot reverse. There is no point. Now that we are both refreshed, I feel it wouldn't hurt to recap our progress and determine if any changes should be made based on our successes and failures. Let's talk about how things are going so far. Since your journalistic efforts are a big part of why I originally recruited you, we can start there. Your inquiring mind has been a huge boost in our journey thus far. As a ROM, I can't talk to people as intently as you, so I must say I'm quite grateful for your skills in that regard. You're diligent in your day-to-day work as well, which further grounds my hope in you. Beyond journalistic persistence, let's take a look at how we've performed in other responsibilities, specifically our choices in overcoming obstacles. Our first major hurdle proved challenging, but we made use of our surroundings and found a creative avenue. Furthermore, I am pleased with your utilization of non-violent methods. Eliminating any excessive risk should allow us to move swiftly.
My use of non-violent methods when the game tells me I am not allowed to use violent methods.
Finally, I was quite impressed by your ability to adapt on the fly, as they say, and perform so well when thrust into a sudden situation. Lastly, I'd like to discuss how we're getting along with our companions and allies along the way. It's important. I was very impressed with your negotiation abilities with those kids. We got our data cache, and they went on their way, and hopefully learned a lesson too. Jess is a bit of a harder read, but she did agree to help us out in a big way. As long as her brash nature doesn't tempt you to lash out, I think things will go smoothly. Detective Rivers was good to involve as well, and I can tell you enjoy having a familiar face around. She could prove to be our greatest aid, as long as we make it worth her time. No funny business. Tomcat seems to genuinely care for our cause, and I have no trouble with letting their expertise guide us. Out of everyone else, they seem to be easiest to get along with, too. And finally, you and I must say, we have worked together better than I ever expected. I hope you feel the same. I feel confident in our combined ability, and I enjoy your company as well. Please, continue showing me around the city as we continue our search.
Yeah, what about the goo monster living in our sink? Let's talk about our relationship with... Oh, he's stirring! Let's talk about our relationship with him. Or her.
Unfortunately, we've just about run out of leads. Perhaps Tomcat was able to find something of use in Parallax's network while they were inside. go, but I feel a little bad for relying on them as much as we do. Always going so far for Hayden. They must have been close. Oh, speaking of them, incoming call from Tomcat. Forwarding video and audio.
Morning.
Morning.
Karen, how you been doing, hon?
I'm fine, Tomcat. Thank you for your concern.
Well, okay. Just say the word if I can help out in any way. You hear?
Of course. In fact, I was hoping you might have a lead for us to start working at. Otherwise, we're down to canvassing Hayden's address book and seeing if any of his contacts have an idea about who might have had a desire to target him. But that's just fishing in the dark.
Well, I pulled a fair amount of data from the Parallax servers before they managed to kick me out, but it'll take me a while to go through it. A lot of it's unrelated. TPS reports, maintenance logs, juicy meat for other corporations, but about as useful as dirt to us. It'll take me a while to decrypt all of Hayden's files, but maybe we'll find something there. So, no, I don't have as much as a whiff of a trail on who's behind this. Though, I recently got a strange request from a friend of a friend. Someone's been messing with the articles of a news organization named Augmented Eye. It seems like the network security head there is asking around for cybercrackers to help figure out how their reports are getting changed. The original files on their servers are untouched. In their system, everything looks peachy keen. But when you view the site from the outside of the network, things are changed up. A word here, phrase there. It's subtle, but often has a big impact on the article's tone. Someone with deep access to Parallax's meshnet is changing what's being shown. I ain't sure if it's related, but maybe y'all can head down to the main KCOB offices and try talking to the gal that runs Augmented Eye. Her name is Zen. I ain't got the time or the desire to stick my nose that far out for a stranger, but it seems like your kind of deal.
It does seem to be a bit of a stretch. But if we have to wait for you to work on the data we've collected anyway...
Alright, I'll pass the word along that you'll be in sometime today to stick your noses in. And I'll send y'all word as soon as I get anything worth hunting down.
Excellent. Thank you, Tomcat. We are grateful for your continued assistance.
No problem, Turin. Are you sure you're gonna be okay? Maybe you should take a little more time. You've been through some shit in the past few days.
I said I was fine. Thank you for your concern, but I am fine. I have already handled the reality of Hayden's death. It's time to move on with the investigation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. I'm just worried. So, I'm here if you need anything.
Understood. I apologize for my tone, Tomcat. We'll be in touch.
Alright, later, Turin.
Okay, we have a lead, however tenuous. I've highlighted the COS-IO Corp office building on your map. Also, while we were talking to Tomcat, I received an email from Dr. Fairlight.
Ooh.
Displaying.
Greetings.
Greetings, Club Hands.
I hope you'll forgive me for a voice-only message, but I'm undergoing my treatments and would not call myself presentable for a video call. Still, I wanted to inform you of an idea I had while looking into our mutual acquaintance's disappearance. I haven't had any luck with my contacts inside Parallax, but I was reminded of an old friend by the name of Melody Flores, who may know more about the nature of Hayden's research. She's the owner of Flower Cybernetics, and Hayden has been known to work closely with them on projects involving the intersection of Parallax's systems and the implants that Flower designs. Melody and I are no longer on speaking terms, so I'm afraid I can't introduce you. But perhaps the intrigue of Hayden's little robot will get you entry into her home. I hope this lead serves you well. If you need anything else from me, I will be in and out of the hospital room where we met for the next few days. I will send word if I have any other insights or discoveries. Yours, Dr. Yannick Fairlight.
Interesting. I had no knowledge of Hayden ever working with Flower Cybernetics, but now I'm starting to understand just how little I really knew about his research. Maybe this Melody can reveal more about the purposes of my construction. Hayden must have kept my development secret for a reason. Hopefully we can talk our way in. I have highlighted Melody's home on your map. Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's lead to KCOB, or Fairlight's lead to Melody's home. Up to you where to go first. Tomcat's led us in the right direction so far, but Fairlight has resources and his tip might end up being more relevant. It depends on what you want our focus to be on in terms of tracking Hayden's trail. Should we follow the media or the tech? It's fitting. They're the two factors that make NEO-SF so unique and wonderful. If we explore them both to the fullest, there's no way we won't be closer to the answer. Okay, we can now either follow Tomcat's... It depends on what you... Up to you where to go. Wow, you really like giving hugs. Good thing I do too. Ready to head out? Oh, I'm sorry. I was wool gathering. I see we've arrived at the Melody Flores residence. It's quite impressive. But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operations at the company. I wonder how she and Hayden first began working together. Sorry, back on task. Is there anything you'd like to know before we head inside? Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother, Antonella. It started out developing cutting-edge medical tech, including advanced prosthesis and nanoparticle diagnostic and treatment technologies. They were vastly successful when they perfected the first synthetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection and control between the nervous system and a cybernetic prosthesis. The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the American military, developing ruggedized military prosthesis for use on injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces. This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that point on. She pushed the company to use the BCA technology for the company's original goals of medical advancement, as well as developing the first direct link virtual reality implants. The company is largely successful on a global scale, despite continued legislative movement against extensive cybernetic use, especially brain implants. Not a whole lot. She's largely private, in contrast to her mother's penchant for courting a media circus. Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company to the point of absolute viciousness in the boardroom. But it's been a long time since her days of fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's talk that she's lost her spine in her old age, but... well, I'd take that with a grain of salt. She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield, but you don't change the entire direction of a company as large as Flower if you're a quitter. Stay on your toes. He did, and I can't shine much light on that. I know that System 1 worked with Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the direct link virtual reality implants, so perhaps it happened during that time. Also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of a personal falling out between the heads of the companies. I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but they'll only be that, rumors. I can do my best to parse fact from fiction, but it blurs too much for me to be sure what's real. No time like the present, then.
Oh God. Hi, is Melody home? I don't... Is there an adult in there I could talk to?
Your guess is as good as mine. Mine says we can go in. Should we?
There we go. That's going to take us to 4 o'clock. That was Read Only Memories. It's a pretty well done game, I think. It's not a bad game. Certainly, it's pretty linear. It kind of funnels you into a certain direction. There's not a lot of agency in it. There was that mini game in there with the traffic lights. But other than that, there's not a lot of puzzles. the only thing in there is kind of interacting with people, and that's kind of gonna turn out to be something that's more important later in the game. It is something that I have played in the past, something that I've finished. I don't know if we'll come back and finish it again, since we gotta keep on trucking, we gotta keep on playing these games. When I last played it, it didn't have the voice acting. That was something that was added in at a later time, so I'm glad I came back to it. There's some very good voice acting in there. There's some very professional voice acting. The main narrator, I'm gonna have to edit it in the YouTube video, because I hate tying people down to a role. You might have recognized the main narrator as Lee from The Walking Dead, and I hear him in too much to say Lee from The Walking Dead all the time. And I'm going to do the same thing. You might have noticed that Turing was Clementine, so that was good. There is definitely some donated voice work in there, so there was a little bit of variance in quality, especially noticeable in the stuff that was provided by Jim Sterling, who we met as the leader of the human protest. The music's fantastic. The presentation, that's some very good pixel art, and the animations are wonderful in it. And I definitely recommend it. It is a game that was developed by the LGBTQ plus community, and it's sort of targeted towards them. But I don't think that's something that necessarily should get in the way. I've heard some complaints that it is a bit heavy-handed. We unfortunately didn't get to the point where we talked to Turing about their gender identity and things like that. But like I said, it is a good game. I do recommend it. And I hope you'll join me for the loop every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to be back on Monday with another game. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Goodbye for now.